Hello students. Today we cover the English chapter bestseller by O. Henry. Let us first study about the characters of the lesson. John A. Pescud, he was small man and not good looking. He was a traveling salesman for a plate glass company. He was very successful and had his salary raised twice in the previous year, and his company was to give him few shares as well. In his view, plate glass was the most important commodity in the world. He was hypocrite, mocks the stories of bestsellers by calling them unrealistic, but in his real life, he himself followed a girl like a hero of some bestseller and later marries that girl. Jessie Allen was fine and pretty. She was the only daughter of Colonel Allen, belonging to the oldest family in Virginia. She was proud of her aristocratic lineage and rich mansion. She was observant and perceptive and was attracted to Pescud. Colonel Allen, he was father of Jessie and retired colonel with a stern and strict face. He was angry-looking man who rarely laughed. He had hobby of telling and listening to the stories from strangers and travelers who came to him. Let us now study the summary of the lesson. One day, the narrator was on his way to Pittsburgh for business purpose by the chair car. He was sitting on the chair number 7. After a while, he noticed someone on the chair number 9. When he saw him, remembered him at once. They both were old acquaintances and met after 2 years. His name was John A. Pescud. He was reading the bestseller, The Rose Lady and Trevelyan. Pescud was a traveling salesman for a plate glass company. He also believed that plate glass was the most important commodity in the world. Pointing towards the book he was reading, Pescud said that the novel dealt with an American hero who falls in love with a royal princess from Europe. He believed that such romances only happened in novels because in real life, any sensible fellow will pick out a girl from the same kind of status and family. After mocking the imaginative content of the novel, Pescud informs the writer that professionally, he was prospering and he had also invested in real estate. On being asked regarding his love interest, Pescud relates his personal experience. He was going to Cincinnati, when he came across a very beautiful girl, whom he wished to marry. He chased her wherever she went, crossing many stations, and finally reached Virginia. She was escorted to a palatial mansion by a tall old man. Pescud stayed back in the village and discovered that she was the daughter of Colonel Allen, who was the biggest and finest man in Virginia. He met the beautiful girl next day and tried to converse with her. He discovers that her name was Jessie and her father was the royal descendant of a renowned British family. She had been aware all along that Pescud was following her and warned him that her father would feed him to the hounds, if Pescud ever thought of a proposal. Nevertheless, nothing seemed to deter Pescud, and with due ceremony, he arrives at the mansion. He was surprised to see that the inside of the palace was very impoverished with very old furniture. Colonel Allen arrived in great style, despite his shabby clothes. Amidst talking of anecdotes and humorous occurrences, Pescud frankly put forth his proposal, giving all details of his business and family. He is accepted by Jessie and her family, and the marriage had taken place a year ago. Pescud had built a house in East End and the colonel was also residing with him. He waited daily at the gate for Pescud to hear a new story. By this time, the train was nearing Coketown. It appeared to be a dull and dreary place, and the writer questioned Pescud regarding his purpose of getting down at Coketown. Pescud told the writer that he was halting there to get some petunias which Jessie had seen in one of the houses. Pescud invites the writer to pay a visit and gets down at the station. The train moves forward and the writer discovers that Pescud had left his bestseller behind. He picked it up and smiled to himself because Pescud's own story was no less than a bestseller. Thank you. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We wish you the very best. Until next time, bye.